Right, so back in the garage again. One little task that I want to be doing with the Supra parts is to get rid of a few boxes that are cluttering up the place. One of them mainly is bushes, so I'm going to get the poly bushes out and put some of them into the arms, and then I can get rid of the boxes because I'm just sick to death of tripping up over them. So I've got a bag of nuts, bolts, sorry, not nuts, bolts. So I've got the standard suspension arms here. So these are the factory arms. I removed the hardware off them so I can get everything painted and get in between all the seams between the two, so no point in leaving them bolted up if they were rusty underneath. So they've all been sprayed and treated, put through sandblast, all that malarkey, rust prevented, and then POR 15'd. So these belong on there. So I've got the brand new bolts to go into there, so I'm going to get on with that now and get them fixed up. Right, so that's them all bolted up now with some nice new hardware. It's always nice to use new stuff. You keep clean hands as well, it's mint. So yeah, I'm going to get the bushes out now, press them into there. I'm going to do the rest, same with the rest of them. So yeah, let's get to it. So I've got the Powerflex bushes to be going into the suspension arms and some of the suspension arms bits down here, like the front arms. So they're not the strong flex ones, which are these yellow ones, because I believe, so a few of you have mentioned in the comments that these squeak a bit. So these are for the rear diff, I believe. So yes, most of these are going to be going into the suspension arms. So it's just a case now of going through all of these and finding which ones you need, which I think I might have just picked them up there, because they're the fronts. Front lower wishbone, front bush. So that's that one, and there should be another front lower rear bush somewhere. Front lower wishbone, rear bush, that's a good guess, wasn't it? So going to get them out of the boxes now and get them squeezed into these slots. So I've got these, I can't remember which one's the front and which is the rear. One of these is front, one of these is rear, and I cannot remember for the life of me which one's which. Right, so got it figured. These bushes are for this side of the arm, and these bushes here are for this side of the arm. So let's get slipping them in there. Right, so I've got my gloves on now because this little like grease stuff that you put on, if you get it on your skin, it almost waterproofs your skin, so it makes it a bit tricky to wash off afterwards. So I've got the bushes to come with their own like sealant, basically, not a sealant, it's like an assembly lube, but for poly bushes. I can't think of the word now. Like a grease, I should say. So you just need a little smear on here, like that. Use your finger, smear it in. Same on the other one. Like so. Try not to put too much on because you end up with loads of squeeze out. And then you just get a little bit on your finger, like so, and do the inside of the hole. Come around the side of the camera here, like that. Because if you put some inside the hole, there's always going to be some in there, but if you put it all on there, when you squeeze that bush in, it'll all scrape off on the side there and you won't actually get that much inside the hole where you need it the most. The other one to do is, you've got your sleeve, so this is your metal sleeve that goes down the centre of your bushes. You want to get a little bit on this as well. Smear a load on there. It's lovely stuff. It's like a slightly runnier version of Vaseline. And also put a little bit on the inside of the bush there. the same reasons as what I just mentioned. Squeeze a little bit more out onto there. I'll do this one. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to start it, I think, with one of them in there, like so. So that's an example of what I mean. So when you push it in, if you don't do it on the inside of the bush, it all just scrapes off on outside there, so you're not actually getting any in the joint. So that's why I like to do both. So now that's that in there. Everything's slippery now, so it makes things twice as hard. There we go, that's that in. Put that one in this side. And then squeeze that all the way through. It's about as far as I can get that just by hand at the minute. You can use some, like a big G clamp or something to pull it in if you need to, but I don't think we will if I get around this side. There we go, that's got it. That's that one in. Now I have to do this one. So I need one of these bushes. Everything is super slippy now with these gloves on. I've probably used a bit too much grease on these, to be honest, but I'd rather use a little bit too much than not enough, and then they'll all start squeaking when you don't want them to. So there we go, that's that one. And that one. One of these sleeves. Bit of grease on there. Like that. Into there. Oh, it's just a little bit too much. There we go. Right, so that's that in there. Ta-da! Right, just going to take these off and then I'll pause the camera. And there we have it. So that's those two bushes put into one of the arms. So now we've got to do the other one. Plonk that on there without dropping it on that and squeezing grease everywhere. Excuse me. Right, so got that one and that sleeve. So let's get to it. I'm not going to walk you through this one because I've already just shown you how I do it. Bit on there, say right inside as well. Not exactly very exciting watching this, is it? Sorry if it's a bit boring, but needs must and all that jazz. Ooh, nearly. Yeah, try not to drop these once you've greased them up, because all they do is pick up swarf and dust and dirt off the floor, which is no good. So put you in there first, and then you go in there. like so. You go in there. I was pleasantly surprised by how easy these go in. I was expecting to have to use a little hydraulic press that I made in the earlier videos as to how to push them in. But they just, as you can see, they just slide in. So I'm actually quite happy that I've not got to start pressing a load of bushes in. Gosh, these packets are getting too slippy now to squeeze the grease out of. There, some on there, some on there already. And you were on that side. Stay there. Ideally, what I've done there now is I've locked in air. So what I need to do is push that metal sleeve back out. It's harder to get them out than it is to get them in. Oh. There we go. So what I mean by that is I've pushed the internal sleeve too far through into this one, so then it creates an air pocket inside here, so when you try and squeeze the two bushes together, it keeps trying to push them apart again. Ooh, kicking the camera. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to push that one now right the way through so that it's flush. I don't know if you can see that. So it's now flush with that bearing, with the bush, sorry I should say, and then you push that bush in till it's hard up, and then you pull that sleeve back through, if you get what I mean, because otherwise it just traps air between the two bushes and tries to keep separating them. Can't get that one by hand, so what I'm going to do, plonk it on the bench, put some weight on it, and there you go, we're in. So that there is now two bushes refit. And there we have it. As easy as that. So that's took what? About half an hour. Not even that. But I was mucking about. I didn't know which way through them bushes needed to go. So I was doing a bit of Googling in between time. So that's those two done. I've got another box full of bushes, so I'm going to crack on and get the rest pressed in. So these are the rear toe arms. So I'm going to crack on with these. Very, very similar to the others, but the joy of these is, once I get them out, that these are all identical. So there's no difference between any of them. So these just go through sandwiched either way. Whereas as you can see with these, one side of the bush is fatter than the other side, and the same again on this side. That one's pretty self-explanatory because of this flange, but that side I didn't know which way through that they needed to go, so hence I had to do a bit of googling when it came to those two. But for these two arms, dead simple, all the same, 2 for one arm, 2 for the other, squeeze them in. So let's get cracking. Bit on there, bit in there, bit on there, bit inside, bit on there, bit inside. Sorry, I do talk to myself whilst I'm working. It just sort of helps me get on with it, and then I know I'm not missing anything. Bit down there, and a bit down there. So smear that on. In the middle as well. As you can see, these have like a slight, don't know if you can see it or not there, they've got a slight knurling on the inside of that hole, just so it helps grab that shaft, I suppose. Shaft. I'm a big child really, aren't I? You won't think I were nearly 40. Alright, so that's that. So that one goes in there. That one into there. And then this one goes into here. Squeeze it all the way through. Sometimes you struggle, so I just use a little bit of body weight just to get that into there. And there you go. That's another trailing arm done. Dead easy. Let's get on with these. Put some in the actual recess itself. Squeeze that in. Squeeze that in. Sleeve in there. There we have it. So once you get on a roll with these, it's dead easy. So let's get on with the next ones. So now I've got the other toe arms and I've got the other bushes. So let's get on with these. Shouldn't take me 2 minutes. Get out. Ah, no! Dropped them. Luckily they're not greased up yet, so they've not picked up any swarf off the floor. That can go in the bin. Right. And again. Squeeze on there, squeeze on there, some on there, some on there. That one done. That one. And there we go, they're ready to go in. So squeeze that in there. Ooh, slippery when wet. There we go. Put in there. Put in there. In there. So that's that one done. And that one done. As you can see, you just get covered in grease. I've gone through loads of gloves. So the next bushes to do are for the front upper arms. I've also got the front lower arms to do, but I'm not going to bore you with just firing these in because it's just the same old, same old. So I'm just going to crack on with these and then I'll show you the end result. And there we have it, that's all those pressed in there. I'm not going to bother painting these arms because they're aluminium, so they don't rust. They just look a little bit messy, but they are still good to go. That's some of the other arms there that I've done. All the arms I've got left to do now are the rear lowers, but I believe I might have cocked up with the orders here because I've got 3 boxes of bushes left. So these are slightly bigger holes than what the bushes I've got supplied are, so there are 2 different size bushes and I think I've ordered the wrong ones. So I'm going to figure out which bushes I need and then I'll have to get them ordered, I suppose, and return those. I've no idea, but I did order them a long time ago, so whether they'll take them back as a return, I'm not sure. But yeah, that's as far as I'm going to get for today, so I'm going to start packing up now, give these a bit of a clean up, and then the excess grease that's on them doesn't just start magnetizing dust. Excuse me. So yeah, I'll see you soon, and I'll give you a few more updates later on. Bye.